Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by a man who likes to give the old stocking stuffer to Mrs. Claus. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Justin.
Hey, Malakaliki Mama.
You know what? I cannot say that.
I think I screwed it up. I generally sing it, but that way all of our Hawaiian shirt-wearing friends know that it's Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, at some point I lost the ability to say that. There was one year I lost the ability to say hallelujah, and I don't know why. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Welcome to another edition of 151. My name is Adam. That's Justin, like I said. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. And we are on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, some Luminary one or something, CastBox, YouTube. All the different links are at the bottom of the page. And if you missed any of that, feel free to head over to 151theshow.com or this station's website.com. As we make our way to the end of 2020, this is our final show of the year, so we have a very special guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from cinemablend.com, his name is Mike Reyes. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to clap for myself.
You're
Hi,
fine.
guys. Justin, b-sox.
I am Adam on this show.
Okay, good. Adam. Well, the first time I talked to you on the radio, you're like, ooh, b-sox. It's like, fine, whatever. I'll just call him b-sox. What the
Yeah, he can't really make up his mind.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Einhorn.
So,
Finkel is Einhorn.
We can't spoil that for the listeners. You don't
damn it.
seen it yet.
could that have been the biggest spoiler of 1993? Finkel is Einhorn.
Behind the crying game, yeah.
Mike, welcome to the show tonight. Now, for those of you playing along at home, Mike has been on the show before, but he's been on in a side jobs capacity where it's just been me and him talking about, movies and stuff. Tonight, he's actually joining the full show with Justin, who is rocking the Scrooge t-shirt, if everybody can see. You have to talk, Justin, so it flips over.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So, the official Bill Murray Scrooge, complemented by the licensed National Lampoon full jackets.
There you go. And Mike, we'll get to you here in a second, but last show we had was a little bit serious because Justin, no other way to say it, you had COVID in your house.
Correct.
We were worried about your life.
Correct.
You're still here? Everything's cool?
It's 2.5 weeks later. Everybody's good. Wife's recovered. Kids are recovered. Savannah, the oldest, is back to school.
Cool.
Kaylee, the youngest, has actually cleared her time for whether we count from symptoms or the 14-day isolation. Either way, I've got 4 days left, so I'm clear on Friday.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going back to work. So far so good. I had the beginning of the week. I had a little cold. No fever. No nothing that could even be remotely considered COVID. Just seasonal cold this time of year. Yes, they still do exist even when you're in a house under isolation.
Yeah.
So
it's probably the kids.
They're still a germ factory, man. Even though, protocols are in place, people still get sick with other stuff. So everything's good. Made it through. With the amount of exposure I had, either knock on wood, I can't get it, or I'm immune, and they should study my blood and figure out how to help other people. So,
well, you have seen a UFO, so
that's true.
Well,
That's
hey,
true.
man, I'm glad everything's cool at the house. I'm glad everybody's feeling better. That's awesome news. Good job.
Yes. We made it through. We've come out the other side. So
awesome. All right. So as we get into the normal portion of the show tonight, we're going to be playing a certain game here in a few minutes. But before we get to that, Disney had their Investors Day earlier this week, and just a ton of announcements on the Star Wars side, on the Marvel side, on the Pixar side, all of this. Mike, just because you're kind of into this circle more than we are, in more of an official capacity, I should say, with cinemablend.com, which is a fine website where Mike writes things. Hey, Mike, what did you think was the biggest, most surprising announcement that came out of Investors Day? Because everybody's had a chance to see, you know, the 18 million trailers they put out and so on and so forth. What was the surprising thing that came out of this, do you think?
I think the most surprising thing that everybody had heard from that came right out of the gate, where they said there was like 10 Marvel series. I think they said 15 Star Wars series, and that they were going to do Pixar series, because as of late, Disney has been sort of pivoting to the Disney Plus apparatus. Like they said that they're trying to focus more on building their ranch over there, so to speak. And to get that sort of number on everything was really surprising. And then you hear some of the stuff that's going to fill that roster. Like Patty Jenkins is doing a Rogue Squadron movie. They're doing a Buzz Lightyear movie as if Buzz Lightyear's a real character with Ryan. No, sorry, not Ryan. I wish Ryan Gosling was doing that, but I still love that Chris Evans is doing it.
Yeah.
I was thinking First Man for a second there.
You're kind of in my camp, where the sheer number of things that they're coming out with was the surprising part.
The number was surprising, but also some of the projects, because now we're getting Secret Invasion as a series. And you would have thought that that might have been a movie that they were leading up to down the line. But
I would have.
No, we've got Secret Invasion, and it's going to be a Disney Plus, and that's going to tie into another series that they had. And now they're really leaning in on, we're going to have Marvel movies, we're going to have Marvel shows. Both of them are going to cross over in their own worlds, and then the movies are going to cross with the TV shows.
Right. I think The Mandalorian, though, showed them that they could put something out on Disney Plus and not only field a crowd, but attract people.
And it's a good thing that they announced all this stuff coming to Disney Plus in the future, because you've still got a good portion of people that joke, oh, Disney Plus, the thing that I subscribed to for The Mandalorian, and then cancel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you really thought you were going to cancel,
There it is.
He thinks he's going to cancel, Marty.
You know what, though? Okay, let me ask you this. I mean, there's a lot of cool titles that came out, but let's face it, not all of those are going to be good, right?
It depends. I don't know. I really can't tell what's going to be good and what's not going to be good, because Disney Plus is still feeling itself out.
Yeah.
It's not like Netflix, where you have a pretty good idea looking at the trailers, looking at how everything's put together, on how some things, or even just the people involved with it, how some things going to pan out. But Disney Plus is still really riding high on Mandalorian, and if there's anything you can really start to gauge right now, it's the movie output.
Yeah.
Done quite a few movies.
To me, it's one of those things where it can't all be good. So I'm hoping a lot of it's good, but you know, when you put out 15 different Star Wars shows and movies and series and all that, it's like some of those are going to be. Let's be honest here.
Right, but I think you have to look at it the sliding scale, that you and I sometimes disagree on. Okay, so Disney Plus Star Wars maybe on a tier with Netflix's pretty good to standing.
It could.
There's also that. I mean, it's a pretty impressive roster of people that they're putting together. I mean, Patty Jenkins, Taika Waititi is involved in some of that stuff. Of course, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been hitting it out of the park. I mean, and at the end of the day, even with the Marvel stuff, that's still Kevin Feige. That's still that same group of people. I mean, at worst, we're going to get Age of Ultron level entertainment, which, again, at the bottom of the heap comparatively, but still pretty good.
The big difference between your Star Wars and your Marvel is the fact that you've got people in charge of those properties. Kathleen Kennedy runs the Star Wars show.
Yeah.
You've got Kevin Feige doing the MCU, and they've got pretty good track records with what they've done. There's still going to be Rise of Skywalkers, of course. There's still going to be Age of Ultrons, but
Last Jedis.
Really good batting average depending on what you look at here, especially for how young Disney Plus is. We're barely over a year for that platform.
All right, let me ask you this real quick as we wrap up this. Mike Reyes from cinemablend.com. What's more likely to do well, you think, the Star Wars side of things or the Marvel side of things?
I want to say Marvel just because they've had more practice, but I wouldn't be surprised if Star Wars starts to eclipse it, because again, maybe Kathleen Kennedy is more overseeing, and then Filoni and Favreau are going to have more control on the TV side, because you've got Ahsoka, you've got Rangers of the New Republic, you've got all this stuff that's obviously being built out of Mandalorian.
I was actually going to say Star Wars too, mostly just because Like, I feel like that's a place that you can have something going on another planet and people don't have to necessarily know what's going on, if that makes sense. Where Marvel all seems to be kind of crushed together a little bit more. Star Wars seems a little bit bigger.
Star Wars is getting there, though, because now they're saying that they're going to have the Acolyte, like a story of a Sith apprentice at the end of the High Republic era. I remember when they first announced the High Republic, the whole purpose was supposed to be, oh, we're not touching, anything else. The High Republic's just kind of, we're going to do our own thing. And it's like, oh, so you're going to do your own thing, but you're still going to do the interconnecting, weavy, changey thing. And Mandalorian's even kind of getting to that point. I haven't watched Rebels. I haven't watched Clone Wars. The reveals still are awesome because I know those characters exist.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to have to do more homework to really get oh, wow. I get little
moment.
bits here and there.
Yeah, yes, no. I'm probably then more familiar with some of those characters than you are. And I can tell you that it's still a pretty big impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that you do have to have all that the way they've done.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
for that.
I'm not knocking it in any way, and still, I thought Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano was really cool. That did still land because I know enough Star Wars lore to know, oh, she's been around Yoda, she's been around Anakin, and all that other stuff. And then, obviously, Bo-Katan, the whole talk about Mandalore, and I get importance from it.
Right.
Just one of those people that really wants to know the rest of it.
Right.
And that's on me.
I'm
enticed enough to do it because of Mandalorian.
How pissed do you think some of the people at Disney are and with Star Wars where they're like, we tried to do everything with Rey to make people like her, and Ahsoka Rosie, what's her name? Ahsoka.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, thank you. She comes along and everybody loves her in a moment.
That's sort of an apples and oranges thing because that character is established. And Rosario Dawson is an established actress. You put it together, and it just works. Most of that is the character.
But even
there's
with
a real good portion of that's still, hey, Rosario Dawson.
I don't remember there being such backlash about her. Even when the Clone Wars movie came out, people are like, oh, they gave Anakin an apprentice. Okay, that doesn't make sense. But I don't remember there just being just raw hatred for her.
There was just raw hatred for the movie in general.
No, the Clone Wars.
The Warner Brothers one where it's that still gets me, where it's like Warner Brothers made this movie because Fox let Cartoon Network make this show.
Right.
And it's like, I'm sure they removed the Warner Brothers logo by this point, but it's still kind of weird. It's like, oh, Warner Brothers doing Star Wars.
But even though whoever put her in, I mean, let's face it, she had a better introduction and
right, because
I'm trying to think of the right word.
She's her own character. She is not a substitute Luke Skywalker. And Rey, for all intents and purposes, was substitute Luke Skywalker. That's it. She was more of a clone than all those Jango Fett's running around in Stormtrooper armor. She was substituting for Luke. Ahsoka Tano is her own character. And is very much not Luke Skywalker. I mean, she basically got introduced in The Mandalorian by running around and assassinating Imperial officers in a way that you've never seen anybody who was good or a Jedi do, short of what we all assumed about Mace Windu.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just one of those things where we weren't beaten over the head with her to like her. It was just hey, here she is.
Yep.
And that's it.
Remember when Captain Phasma was going to be an important character?
Yeah. Chrome armor.
Yeah.
I gotta send you guys this video. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a YouTuber named Lyle Rath. I might have sent it to you, b-sox. It was made back when Star Wars: The Force Awakens
Adam.
came out. Oh, sorry, Adam. I keep forgetting, Who is he today? Basically, this guy tears into Force Awakens, and it's a beautiful animated thing that I'll send to you guys. It's great.
Awesome. This is 151. My name is Adam. I'm joined by Justin and Mike Reyes from cinemablend.com tonight as we kind of wrap up Disney Investors Day. I mean, everybody's seen the trailers at this point, so kind of make your own discussion about it. If you're looking for the show, you can head over to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and just about every other platform imaginable. If you miss any of that, head over to 151theshow.com or this station's website.com. Now, Mike, as you are the guest tonight, we're breaking out one of our favorite games, and we hope you're ready for this, okay?
I am really good at Scrabble, so we can do this.
Okay, perfect. Nothing says entertainment like watching a board game on. You know what? Actually, there probably is people that like that. Anyways, tonight...
There's tons of streams of that.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Adam, are you saying that Will Wheaton is not entertaining enough for you?
No, he's not. This is Bag of Questions. All right, friends, tonight we're playing another awesome round of Bag of Questions. This is where we literally draw questions out of a bag. And like we were explaining to Mike before this, there are questions from back in 2016 in this bag. So it is fairly full. We'll go around, and usually if we're in the same room, everybody draws their own questions. But since I have the bag, I'll be drawing. If you want to send us a question for Bag of Questions, 151theshow at gmail.com, or just send it to any of the social platforms at 151theshow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Mike, since you're the guest tonight, you get to go first with the first question, okay?
Ooh.
And
2016 election.
God, no. Jesus, you and Justin would, oh, God, that would be bad. Here's your question. You ready?
Yeah.
What is your favorite family vacation?
Ooh, Disney. We
Disney?
used to go to Disney every year for 7 years because I don't know how my parents worked it. Oh, no, I know how my parents worked it to this day. It used to be beginning of November, first week, New Jersey had their teachers convention, and that counted as the off season for Disney resorts.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah. So the rates would be insane. My father works on a military base, so he got tickets at a pretty good rate, like the park hopper tickets. So we would just basically get the tickets from base, book ourselves for the first week in November, and a lot of Jersey people did that too. Because I remember one of the last couple of years we went, we were in Epcot, and this guy starts. We just running these people, and then my dad starts talking to the guy for some reason, and he's like, "Oh, where are you from?" It's like, "Oh, Bricktown." It's like, "Oh, hey, we're from around there too."
Wow. So Disney, huh? Disney,
yeah, Disney,
Disney World or Land?
World.
Okay.
World, the superior Disney, because Walt Disney actually thought to buy the land around it and turn it into a big complex.
Justin, which one do you like? Because you're a big Disney guy.
I am, but the only time I've been to Epcot because I was in Orlando for a show, and I promised my oldest daughter I wouldn't go to Disney World without her. So technically, Epcot did not qualify as Disney World, so I didn't break promise. Very important. But I've been to Disneyland a couple of times.
I've only been to Disney World. I've been there twice, so I'd like to go again.
It was very, very tempting until we got sidelined the last month. I looked at Sheena about 6 weeks ago. I'm like, nobody's at Disney World right now. We should just frickin' book it and go over Christmas and just spend like 10 days down there because the park's going to be empty and they're probably hurting for money right now, so the rates are probably good. I saw people ghost town crowds in Galaxy's Edge. So a couple weeks ago. So I'm like, go down.
All right, Mike. So that kind of wraps up your question, right? Are you good with that answer?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Justin, your question here on Bag of Questions. What TV show did you give another chance?
I don't know. I'm pretty much a one and done. Either I like it or I don't. I don't think I've ever gone back and picked something up after the fact that I disliked at first and liked the second time.
Really? There's nothing?
Nothing springs to mind.
Okay, how about this? What kind of take that same question, but maybe one that you gave too much of a chance?
Oh, that I hung in too long?
Yeah. Think about it for a second. Mike, do you have a show that you gave another chance?
Well, I'm trying to think.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
in a certain way, I gave Downton Abbey another chance because I liked it enough when I saw snippets of the episodes,
Uh-huh.
but I never went back to watch it up until I got the assignment to go cover the movie. And it's like, okay, I got to watch like these 6 seasons before I watch the movie. And I liked it even more.
Okay.
Doc, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. That's
I hung in so long with declining quality, basically, and I love Peter
Capernelli.
Capaldi.
Ball.
Yeah,
Oh,
Capaldi.
Capaldi.
I love Capaldi, and I thought that
Oh.
every episode just got worse and worse and worse, to the point that, I mean, I pretty much I hung in for the first couple episodes with Jodie Whittaker because I thought, okay, we're gonna go again. We're gonna get a new showrunner, and eventually it just got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore for me.
Yeah.
So
I can see
Doctor
that.
Who, I hung in too long.
Capaldi was very rough, and it was the writing was rough. It wasn't him. It was
No,
just-
it wasn't him. He deserved better.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if he'd have had Tennant writing or even Matt Smith writing, Capaldi was way underused. I mean, he was capable of so much more than sonic sunglasses and a tank. I mean,
I still like that bit though.
I like it, but I mean, he deserved more. I mean, it was funny, but it was cheap.
I could tell you one. I don't know why we kept giving it a chance, but it was American Horror Story. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me and my wife. And it was we started watching. God, I don't remember what the season was, but they had the apocalypse one. And we were like, okay, it's not horrible. And then we tried watching 1984. We didn't even make it.
Ugh.
We
I
just
quit that the first episode.
we gave up on that in the middle of it, and it was just like, you know what, we're done here. So
We have this thing in our house called I call it the Ryan Murphy curse, where if we start one of his shows, we better watch it straight through to the end, because if there's even a break, we never finish it. And to prove that point, Hotel. My wife is a huge Lady Gaga fan. I too enjoy Lady Gaga.
yeah,
We get to the holiday break, because there's always that holiday break where it's
Yeah.
like, if you run from January straight forward, there's, if you premiere in the fall, you break at Christmas, you start again after New Year's.
yeah.
Never went back and finished it, because it was just like it wasn't important. The only season I've watched all the way through is the first one, because it was streaming.
I'll tell you. You know what? I remembered while you were talking what that question was based off of, and it was Agents of Shield. And I will
That's what
tell you-
I feel like I have to go back to.
We started watching the last season of Agents of Shield, and we missed legit like 3 seasons of it because we just gave up. But all of a sudden, we were like, "Hey, do you want to watch the last season of Agents of Shield?" And it was more entertaining not having any idea what was happening than when we were watching it.
Yeah, that's when I definitely gave up on, and probably should come back.
Oh God!
I should have never gave up on Agent Carter. That was the Agent Carter was the better series, and
Yeah,
that
Carter
shit
was good.
7 seasons.
I liked the first season of Carter. The second one, I was like, I don't know what it was. I liked the character. I like most the stuff about her. I just the second season just didn't do it. Or did it only have one?
It had 2.
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
two.
2. Yeah. So, anyways, this is 151. I'm joined by Mike Reyes from CinemaBlend.com, and of course Justin, who, boy, we weren't trying to replace him if he had COVID and kick the bucket. So.
No, there's just a short list of potential new hosts.
If you want to know
Nothing
more
that's
about us, head to
involved.
151theshow.com. This is Bag of Questions. It's my turn on Bag of Questions. Bag of Questions is we just have a bag and we answer questions and we go from there. Here's mine. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? I would probably say I like Iowa so much that I don't see myself ever moving away from here. But I could see myself maybe like a Minnesota or a Colorado or something, like a more outside of town type thing. Think like log cabin and
Oh yeah.
up in the woods and stuff.
See, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want to just like one place over the other. I want to have a home base, and then
Yeah.
3 months here, 3 months in Australia, Gold Coast, 3 months here, 3 months in Colorado,
Yeah.
3 months here, 3 months, Minnesota.
I wouldn't mind visiting like an island for a few months, but I'd want to come back to Iowa. I can
Right.
remember, it was really weird. We went up to Duluth for a buddy's wedding a couple years ago, and I remember just feeling really claustrophobic the whole time. And it on the way out, when we were getting out of the real thicker forest, it finally hit me. I'm like, that's what it is. I haven't been able to see for distance because you can see so far in Iowa. And I just felt claustrophobic. So I don't know. I wish I could say there's another place that I'd love to go live other than Iowa, but I don't think there is. Maybe I will say this, if I could live out in the country like you, Justin, but with better internet, I'd like to do that. But
Hey man, Elon's gonna do it. Starlink's coming.
so yeah, I think that's so you. That sounds like you, Mike. Where would you want to ditch Jersey and go somewhere else?
No, I very much agree with Justin's sort of strategy there, just because professionally, I want to be where the action is. Like, I would want a place in LA to stay for a little while.
Yeah.
I would want a place in Canada for shoots, a place in Germany for my cousins that are out there, a place in London because they love sending me there and I love going. And just, I wouldn't mind still having a house in a good part of Jersey. Like, Central Jersey is a nice area and it's very convenient for things. And especially just with the proximity to New York, that's a lot of fun.
Jersey gets a bad name from a lot of people. What's the part of Jersey that gives everybody such a bad name? If you're saying like Central Jersey's okay.
There's bad in all regions. Like, north is where you've got the very ritzy, very rich sort of people that give some of the bad name.
Okay.
Especially because a lot of them like to come down to the shore on summer vacation. You've got some parts of the south of Jersey and even some parts of the central where it's just like you skipped over the Mason-Dixon line and you're down in Kentucky.
All
but
right.
it's sort of a mix, but I would say basically some of it is the north just because you've got Jersey Shore on TV right now.
I like how, by the
for a
way, I
lot of
like how
people-
you looked off camera, were you looking at your wife or listening to
Yes,
her?
because she was saying something
Okay.
and I wanted to know what she was saying, and she's like, the north, and it's like, oh wait, yeah, that kind of is.
For a second, I'm like, does he just not want to offend anybody? And I'm like, who's gonna see it, dude? It's 151. It's
All the regions of Jersey are turned against each other at times, and then when someone outside comes in, everybody automatically defends.
all of
because
it. All of it is just awful, is what we're coming to.
It's like a family.
All right, Mike, it's time for your next question on Bag of Questions here as I show everybody the bag. Mike, this is from a long time ago.
Yes, 2016 election. Daffy Duck.
No. Mike
When he
Reyes,
laughs like that, it's not good, Mike.
how would you explain kissing to an alien?
Ooh, man. Some aliens you don't want to explain that to because that's how you got 5 Alien movies and 2 prequels.
I know, right?
2 prequels. And the Alien versus Predator we never talk about. It depends on what type of alien, just because some of them might be the very stodgy ones where it's like the 2 humans interface through face cavities for pleasure and sometimes for sustenance.
Okay. Mike, Justin is going to pick the type of alien you have to explain kissing to.
Ooh.
Justin, go.
Non-humanoid telepath. Good answer. Good answer.
You basically think it. It's you probably think of the image of kissing, and they pick it up because they're non-humanoid and telepaths. They would have to map up what anatomy is what, but
Wouldn't dealing with any telepath just be the worst?
When we like each other, we make a tube with an on each end.
You ever see that movie, Correctly Inferred?
But if you were dealing with a telepath, you'd automatically go just to your worst thing you've ever done, right? Every single time.
Absolutely. Look, if I'm talking to Deanna Troy in a counseling session, it's all she's gonna get is don't stare at her, don't stare at her, don't stare at her, don't stare at her.
Yeah.
Remember that episode where she answered the door in basically a cheesecloth?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. But I mean, you think of some of the really weird you've done in your life, and that telepath is just going to get a front row seat to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to be
Absolutely.
weird to have that too, because the door opens both ways where it's like, oh, great, I get to hear everybody's thoughts. I never get to be surprised. And I just know the garbage people from day one, and I have to be like, yeah, buddy, you're doing it, man.
You know what?
I've
done some that a telepath may find surprising. We'll just put it.
Well, especially if they don't know how kissing works.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
The rest of the stuff is just like, whoa, I barely got step A.
No, because then the alien would be like, okay, so you do that with your mouse. Why are you doing that to her rectum?
This is the 151 show. He recused himself from hosting. I'm Mike Reyes from Cinema Blend, and I've got Justin on the line here. Justin, how you doing?
Rectum damn near killed him, and I'm out too.
Rectum, I barely know him.
All right, time for the next question here as we get off of that. That's what she said. Justin, create your perfect TV channel.
Create what? I'm sorry.
Your perfect TV channel.
My perfect TV channel, 24/7. Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate.
Okay.
Done.
All right. Well,
If you're not entertained by that, yourself.
And there's so much to pull from too, especially if you run a lot of Stargate would be the Law and Order of your TNT.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
so much of that. And then if you get enough clout, you could bring back Stargate Universe.
Mm-hmm. We deserve an answer. We deserve an ending. That's all I'm saying.
next question on Bag of Questions, and I really don't. This one sucks.
We don't go. No, we're not going to circle that one around, or
What's your favorite ice cream topping? Is my next question. Which right now I haven't ate ice cream in a year and a half.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Say cool. Say whip. Now
Last
say
time
cool.
Whip. Cool Whip.
Cool Whip with Will Wheaton riding a whippet.
We'll just go with nuts and move on with our lives here.
As so many other times we do as well.
Yes, exactly. Mike, your next question here on Bag of Questions. Who in your family would you describe as a character?
my brother, Lewis, my middle brother.
Yeah, why? What's Lewis's
Because
issue?
Dude he's probably the most extroverted of us, and dude has definitely had some stories hanging out with his friends, and just he's just wild. He's definitely most of the biggest trickster out of the three of us.
What's your what's your wild night with Lewis?
There was a Thanksgiving. My mother's birthday. So one of my mother's birthdays, we're hanging out at my dad's place, and we were supposed to cook for her, but we got drunk, and that was on top of other substances that may or may not have been present that are legalized. And nothing very hard, but
heroin then, huh?
CBD inhaler. Charred the roast, but it was still rare in the center.
Oh, that's easier to do than you think.
Yeah.
I know. It's like I wouldn't have minded that personally, but everyone else has to eat it too. So, and then apparently I thought I was going to be able to drive home later that night, and everyone's like, no, your wife's driving home. It's like, yeah.
My wife has only had to drive me home like two or three times in all the times we've ever gone out. So,
and one of them was The Last Jedi.
yes, I was. Justin, your next question here on Bag of Questions, as we're starting to get long on the tooth. We'll have to wrap things up here soon. Who's the best Disney princess?
Pre-acquisition or post-acquisition?
Who's the best Disney princess?
Both.
Well, if we go back to all of the, you know what? Kaylee from Firefly.
Okay. Mike?
She's a Fox product. She's now a Disney princess in my mind. Anyway, and I named my daughter after her. So
Oh, that's
Mm.
nice.
Where did Savannah get her name?
Savannah's is a combination, but the Jane is spelled with a Y for Jane Cobb
Yeah,
from
that's
Firefly.
right.
And then Kaylee is Kaylee Fry. So yes, both of my daughters have Firefly references in their names.
Mike, real quick, who's your favorite Disney princess? Because you seem to
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Okay,
Rapunzel.
all right. I'll do one more question, and then we'll do a real quick speed round so we can wrap things up and get Mike a shameless plug tonight. Is that cool with everybody? This one was actually from social media that was added today from our friend Brittany, who has been on the show before.
Friend of the show.
Yes, friend of the show, Brittany, who needs to come on again and talk about some more video game stuff and really
Indeed.
put you in your place about some video games.
So we can talk about how I glitched Fallout and destroy me for it
Yep.
again. Yeah.
Brittany's question was 2020 was the year that none of us saw coming. Looking forward to 2021, what do you think is in store for us? Would you recommend building a vault? And then there's a sub question. If your vault was big enough for different people with various skills, who would be your top 3 choices be? Brittany really laid it out there.
Right. And I guess for choices, are we talking individual people that we know or professions?
I think professions. So, what do I think's coming in 2021? I don't know if it's going to be as ridiculous as 2020, but I don't think it's going to be normal. Is that fair?
No. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it just switch flips and it all goes back to normal.
No, absolutely not. I don't think, and again, not a medical expert by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think COVID's going away. I think that's still going to be in the news for the next year or so. They'll be getting the vaccine.
It's too late for that. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be getting the vaccine out and that sort of thing. Like, there's still going to be that in the news. There's still going to be precautions. Boy, this got serious real quick. Do I recommend
Brittany.
Do I recommend building a vault? Absolutely, because I think everybody should have a vault. I wish I had a vault. Like our next house, I would like to incorporate a secret room because I just think that stuff is cool. So.
Well, yeah, but that's not the type of vault she's talking about.
Yeah, I know. Because she's a big Fallout fan.
Right.
Yeah. So
and unfortunately 3 is not enough. But if you have a large enough people in there, you're going to need, number one, you're going to need an HVAC person.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to keep the air supply and heating, cooling, all that stuff running. Number 2, you're going to need a plumber. Because if you do have a vault, you don't want the plungers back or the toilets backing up, and a plunger isn't going to cut it. And three, you're going to need an IT guy because I guarantee you that most of your media and entertainment's going to be digital, and you're going to need somebody to keep that running.
All right, we'll just go with that because we're running long in the tooth. All right, you guys ready for a real quick speed round here?
Yes. I get a 4 or 5. I need a butcher and a doctor.
Yeah.
I was going to say a survival expert. All right, Mike, your real quick question. What song made you cry?
Pass.
Last Christmas.
Oh, You'll Be in My Heart from Tarzan, because it was shortly after my grandmother passed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good one.
Justin. So at some point I put some fun stuff into bag of questions. This one's, I drew out a question for Justin, and it says, "You get skipped, bitch."
Wow, we're playing Uno. Wonderful. I'm really beginning to like you guys.
Final question. Give this question to someone. Draw 2 more for yourself. Justin, I'm going to draw you one, and I'm going to draw one, okay?
Okay. All right. Fine.
All right, Justin. From Christy from Facebook earlier tonight. Why has Christy not been on the show, and why do we hate Ryan, essentially? Ryan Patrick.
Well, Christy, you have a standing invite to come on. We have already done the wine show, but you can come on. You drink wine. You do need to be able to hang, and you do need to know your if we get nerdy. As far as why we hate Ryan Patrick, because of his Ryan Patrick-ness.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
That's basically what it boils down to.
For Mike Reyes, Ryan Patrick was my old boss at my old radio station.
I was wondering.
Christy is his wife. That's 2 presidents behind him. We'll say.
Right. and we love them both a great deal. So
not Ryan.
We keep having him on the show an awful
Well,
fucking lot
I'll
for
put
a
it
guy
this
we
way.
don't like.
I love Ryan now. For about 13
Right.
years and 9 months, did not love Ryan.
Right.
What were you thinking? Or my favorite Ryanism.
Yeah.
Defeated sigh of existence.
Oh, okay, final one. What show or movie do you not understand why you like it? We can go around the room with this real quick. Show I don't understand why I like it. Maybe Moonshiners. I mean, it's the same show every week where they got to go up into the mountains and make moonshine. It's the standard thing. It's the same
Right.
thing as American Chopper. We got to make another bike this week, and all this happens and all of this. But I think, Moonshiners, I like it because I like some of the personality. I love Mark and Digger. I think they're great. I would like to go just sit and talk to them for like an hour and just see what's going on. Mike, real quick, show you don't understand why you like it.
Tie between Jersey Shore and Shark Tank, because on one hand, I'm kind of against the things that they stand for. But on the other hand, Jersey Shore does kind of feel like family a little bit.
Oh, God.
And Shark Tank, sometimes you can just get sucked up in the negotiation and say, look. The one tip I love to throw out is you can always buy back equity. 5%'s not going to make or break unless you've got other people under the table. And in that case, you shouldn't have come on the show and auctioned this, you idiot.
There you go. Justin, what show do you not understand why you like it?
Almost anything on the Food Network.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah. You know what? By the way, real quick, Guy Fieri, good job out of you. During the pandemic, he's raised a ton of money for out-of-work restaurant people. I don't care who you are. The mayor of Flavortown is awesome, and I want to hang out with that dude.
Indeed.
So, all right, friends, this has been another edition of Bag of Questions. That's going to be it for tonight. We'll close up the bag, and questions will stay until next time. So that's pretty much going to do it for the normal portion of the show, as we're kind of up against the clock here. Thank you so much to Mike Reyes for joining us tonight from cinemablend.com. Mike, hope you had fun tonight, bud.
Oh, I had a lot of fun.
All right.
This was a blast.
All right, that's going to do it for us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. We're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and a whole bunch of other channels. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom. We'd really appreciate it. We can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music.
All right, friends, this is the part of the show where we shamelessly plug something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a restaurant. It could be a YouTube channel, which I did find one that's all about shoe shining. And
Nice.
I love it.
Woo.
It could
Angelo's
be
Shoe Shine.
Ryan
please.
Patrick.
Yes, and we even will do people. Thoughts
Are we
for
still
later.
doing phrasing?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Tonight's shameless plug is actually coming from our buddy Mike Reyes. Mike, tell us about Cinema Blend. Tell us about what you do and all of that, okay?
All right. Well, as they had mentioned, I am the senior movie contributor over at a site called cinemablend.com. You may or may not have heard of it. I've worked there for almost 6 years. I've worked there for 6 years, almost 7. It's been a wonderful ride. Entertainment, everything from movies to TV to, I cover a lot of James Bond stuff on there. You'll find it there. I'm also personally at Mr. Controversy 83 on all 3 major social media platforms and PBS. But yeah, that's the big shameless plug right there. Write about movies, write about things I like. Come listen to me shout at the sky.
And every once in a while, I give Mike an idea, and he actually writes about it.
Yes, and you can also hear me on a weekly show with Adam, who likes to be called b-sox on the radio, but it's called Adam on 151. And yeah, Adam, where can we find that?
kggo.com/b-sox. You know why I go by one on the other on the other?
Because different personas.
Not just that. It's I don't want to like confuse it to where they think that I'm using the name b-sox to get more followers and all that. And plus, when we originally started, when Ryan was my boss, I didn't know if it was actually legal for me to be doing a podcast when I was doing stuff on the radio. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to separate it, and I will be Adam on 151, and I'll be b-sox on the radio. So that's the
unless you listen to last time show in which he couldn't get his straight.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why?
But every break it was, I'm on K. You started down like 3 times saying KTTO
I did.
instead of 151.
I did it like one time. I'm sorry, Jesus. My best friend may have been dying.
Podcast professional.
Oh, kiss my ass. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the night. A happy holiday, and we will see you in 2021. Really, from our house to yours, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Bye-bye.
If Disney hasn't bought them first.